is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that what I call as a Bruce Mero. But the way you put like a papa nuku. But then the way you me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. Come with the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them say
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together. No retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. My other Biafrans, if for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We bled in our history, that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes.
flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ihe niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụwa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwoke na ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị abụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ọnwụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ.
Akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi mgbe kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria gaja
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụkọ mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kwegbuo anyị nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na anyị etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na onye onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị ife arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokonye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwe sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwe sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe tetu ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe mmiri Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo eme na fero chukwu otu a mee ka fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebite onwe ta atọpụ ikiri ọtọ ọsọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na nọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka igwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka igwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka igwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka igwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening section. I appreciate everyone that has connected. Kindly like and share to other platforms, share to family and friends, share to everyone that is close to you. Invite anyone that is around you to join us on this very quick evening program. Remember, we have done our morning section and this is the evening section. In our evening section, it's a kind of revision of what we did in the morning, and we now go to the media and also touch in their media to see information they had in their media so that we can know which to debunk, which to learn from, and which to pay attention to. So I welcome everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting from. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to guide and protect all of you that have joined. As we are here today, we are going to speak on a very important issue. As you know, today we are talking about so many things that has to do with the real problem, the foundational problem of the Zoological Republic called Nigeria. Remember, in our platform here, we don't come here to instigate violence. We don't come to preach hate. We do not attack people or individuals. We don't attack any race or religion. Whatever be your orientation, whatever be your own understanding, whatever be your ideology, you are entitled to it. All we are saying is that Biafra is the only solution to the failed state in Nigeria. If you feel that Biafra is not the solution, show us the solution, let us see. It is not enough to complain and shout and talk about the evil in Nigeria. All we are talking about is solution, and Biafrans have the solution. Biafra remain the only solution. Create country along value system. Let every region protect their land. Let every region go back to who they were before the colonial master came in, because Nigeria was not created for peace. Nigeria was not created for growth. Nigeria was not created to succeed. Nigeria was a British creation that they created for control and for business purposes, for economic interests. For control. That was why they put Nigeria in place. So as long as Nigeria continues, there will continue to be this control, this battle of control, this battle of leadership. There will continue to be this misunderstanding and this very poverty that is ravaging everywhere, and insecurity will continue. So if you care about human life, you care about humanity at large, you must join us to call for the end to the contraction called Nigeria. It is long overdue. The contraction called Nigeria is long overdue. It has been there for a long time. It is long overdue, and the right thing has to be done now, not tomorrow. The right thing has to be done now. It is time to end the contraction called Nigeria to save life. It is time to end the contraction called Nigeria to protect humanity. For as long as Nigeria continues to remain in place, you are exposing the entire planet to danger. That is why this evening we have come again to speak about the census lie, colonial crime, the truth they don't want you to know, the truth they don't want you to hear. That is why we are here to speak those truths. Those truths they bound you from speaking. Those truths they don't want you to hear. Those truths they continue to hide. That is what we have come here to expose. One of those truths is that Nigeria was not created for the benefit of the indigenous people. One of those truths is that Nigeria was formed with a simple signature. There was no referendum, there was no consultation, and there was no agreement with the indigenous people of Nigeria to form that contraction called Nigeria. It was 100% British orchestration, an agreement that was reached in Europe based on a signature of Lord Lugard in order to control a very large portion of Africa for their own selfish interests. That was why they put Nigeria in place. Now ask me, why would any indigenous person continue to keep that thing that was put in place to subdue him, to control him, and to make resources? No sensible man will continue to hold that same pattern. Every reasonable and sensible human being should have thought that after the colonial master have left, that the indigenous people will return back to who they are and plan a system that works out for them. But instead of that, the criminals were trained by some set of criminals were trained by the colonial masters. After training them, what did they do? They gave them ideas, plans on how to continue to run the same company on their own behalf, to continue to control. That is why you see everything in Nigeria is force. Everything in Nigeria is control. You cannot have your own opinion. You cannot speak. When you speak, they tag you one name or the other. When you talk, they give you one title or the other. That is why you have seen the atrocities that is happening in Nigeria. That is why insecurity in the zoo will never ever stop. You can continue to wish for the end of it. Good luck. Wishful thinking cannot end the problem in the zoo. That is why unity will continue to elude the zoological problem, because it was not created based on unity. And the plan of those who created Nigeria was never that the people should unite. In fact, they want you to be divided so that they can be able to run you effectively, divide and conquer. And it is because of that division they planted. That is why some section today believe that they are the owners of that contraption. Fortunately, the people who are claiming to be the owners of the country are not even indigenous to Nigeria. These are the people who cannot claim indigenous, the people that came, the last people that entered Nigeria and were welcomed by the Hausas. But unfortunately, instead of them appreciating the fact that they were allowed to be in that contraption, what did they do? They turned against the people. They unleashed mayhem on the innocent citizens. They continue to manipulate wherever you are watching this evening. I want you to know that Nigeria is not for you. It's not for me. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your region. It doesn't matter your location. The only thing that is still making some people to talk about Nigeria is fraud. Fraud. So many of them are scared. They don't know how to operate in a normal society. They know that the only thing that can give them relevance is remaining in that fraudulent system. They know that outside that fraudulent system, they will not be relevant. And that is why some of them today can do anything to protect the wickedness of the colonial master. That is why our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu sometimes, when he talks about the problem of a black man, he will become so mad that sometimes he feel like crying. That why did Chukwu make him a black man? People who do not care about collective interests. People that when you want to save them, you need to fight them. When you want to save a black man from the enemy, you need to fight him first. You need to fight him to subdue him. After fighting him and subduing him, before you will now go and fight his enemy, subdue his enemy, and then rescue him. That is how difficult it is to fight for a black man. It is very difficult and very challenging. It is not an easy task. It is a very, very great task to embark on. Wherever you are watching this program from, whatever you believe or whichever area you belong to, whatever be your orientation or your religion, you must have conscience and think about humanity. It is time we talk about humanity, which is what the Biafrans are always talking about, to protect humanity. The pursuit of the self-determination by Biafrans is not a selfish one. It is to serve every indigenous person, whether you are Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, Ijo. It is to save humanity, because terrorism that was introduced by Nigeria by Ottoman Danfodio cannot be defeated except the people are ready. The terrorism brought in by Ottoman Danfodio cannot be defeated except the people rise up from all angles and all circles. Hoping on Nigerian government is signing a death warrant. So if you're one of those who hope that somehow the Nigerian government will rise one day to speak on your behalf or to fight for you, sorry to disappoint you. That is not going to happen. Nigerian government will never, ever fight on your behalf. That is why they have continued to sponsor terrorism. They continue to sponsor and support the terrorists. Even when the names are given to them, they hide it and they will not speak about it. Even when US go ahead to mention names, they come out and they defend it on their national TV. The United States came in to save indigenous people in Nigeria. Instead of supporting, they attacked them. They called them names. I saw a program where a northerner was just blabbing, accusing US of destabilizing Nigeria. Nigeria that is dead and gone. Nigeria that they destabilized. Only that the US came in and said that enough of the killing. US came in and said they are going to go after terrorists that are targeting the Christians. The United States didn't say they were going to target the Muslims. They never said they were coming to kill the Fulanis. They never said they were coming to kill the Northerners. They say they are coming after the terrorists, the Fulani terrorists, because that is what they are. And you see them telling us not to put Fulani inside. I saw one was making a case, was dragging IPOB. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, the whole world knows that they are not terrorists. The ESN are not terrorists. Has never been. The ESN has never been involved in any criminal activities. Those who commit terrorism, they don't deny it. The Fulanis that commit, people who do it don't deny it. They claim responsibility. But IPOB has not claimed responsibility of any attack in Nigeria because they are not after that. That is not what they are there for. They have never claimed responsibility for any death of the innocent because that's not why they are created. Their duty is to protect life and properties of Biafran people and make sure that the farmers go to farm and our mothers go to their stream and come back. And that is what they have been doing. Making sure that the land of Biafra is not taken over by the Janjaweed. But this very assignment that they are undertaking every day, Nigerian government sees as a threat. They see it as a threat and they want to blackmail IPOB by all means. They want to blackmail ESM by all means, using the same governors that speak the same dialect with you and I, Biafran governors. They are in the front line of pushing the propaganda and blackmail. More especially, Soludo. Soludo has been an agent of destruction in the front line, preaching lies, propaganda, blackmailing his own people. But I tell you, he will never go scot-free. He will never go scot-free. It doesn't matter how long it takes. No matter the strategy they take, we will never forget. For every evil committed against the Biafran people, we are going to take it back to them in 100-fold. The British created this very destruction that the whole world is seeing in Nigeria today. The British created this chaos that you are seeing today. The British put in place this destruction, and they know why they did it. The British themselves made it clear Nigeria was not created to succeed. Nigeria was not put in place to be a nation. Nigeria was not put in place for unity. It was not put in place for peace or progress. No. Nigeria was established by a signature to control for resources only. For control. For easy manipulation. That is why it was put in place. But as I said before, it is sad that the same people that are being manipulated, today you are fighting to save them, but they don't want to be saved. They will be the people in the front line to attack you, to blackmail you. Look at Nnamdi Kanu today, serving life sentence in Sokoto, simply because he warned them of what is happening today. Every single thing Nnamdi Kanu have said about the Fulani Caliphate, none is true, none is lie. There is none, that is a lie. Over and over again, he has been proven lying. He warned the Yorubas about the Kwara takeover by Fulani. And today, what is happening? You see the bloodshed in Kwara every single day. Every single day, lives are wasted in Kwara State. And the Fulanis are overrunning the entire Kwara with no response from anywhere. No response. The police does not respond. The army doesn't respond. The government itself is silent. And the Fulanis are running speed to take over Kwara State. Every single thing that Nnamdi Kanu have won is what is happening today. But instead of listening to him, they came after him. They went and kidnapped him, extraordinary rendition him, brought him to Nigeria. He won them in their case, and they sentenced him with an unwritten law. Took him to Sokoto. Mazi Simon Ekpa said, no, this will not happen. And he continued to safeguard the life of people. Mazi Simon Ekpa saw the danger and he said, no, the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not die. That he will make sure that he sustained that legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He continued to pursue the self-determination. And he took it to the level he took it, and they couldn't handle it. They conspired with the Europeans. And Finland arrested our prime minister. After arresting our they refused to admit evidence. Finland court, Finland prosecutor refused to admit evidence against Nigerian government because they have been bought over, and they handed Mazi Simon Ekpa 6 years imprisonment. They handed him 6 years imprisonment. Refused to look at the evidence. And today we are appealing, and they have shifted the appeal all the way to August 5th. We are very disciplined and patient people. We're going to wait them. We will be alive to see August, and none of us will die. We are going to challenge them to every level. So wherever you are watching from, remember, if you are living in Europe, more especially people in Europe, make sure you will be in Finland on the 5th of August. If you are living in Europe, be in Finland 5th of August. You can get your ticket now. I'm talking about people living in Europe because it is easier for them. Those who are living outside Europe, Asia, America might be given excuse. But those in Europe, you can book your ticket now. From now to August, book your ticket in advance so that you can join Mazi Samonepa in solidarity in the court, August 8th. He has made a lot of sacrifice and we cannot leave him alone. He has paid a heavy price. He has forsaken everything and given up his career because of the cause of Biafra. We will not forget him. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will not forget him. Wherever you are, continue to pray for our leaders, continue to remember them. We will never forget them. No matter the attack that is coming from east, west, north, and south, no matter the influence of the British, they cannot stop the will of Chukwu Gabiam. We don't have money. We don't have the connection. We don't have people to speak for us. All we have with us is Chukwu Gabiam and the gods of our land. And I believe one with God, one with Chukwu Gabiam is majority. For as long as we keep our faith in Chukwu Gabiam, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, nobody, nothing created on earth will stop the coming of Biafra because it's appointed time. They can delay it for all I care. But will it come? Definitely it will come. And the time has come. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said Biafra will come in such a way that no man is going to take glory. And when you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, if you look at the drama that is playing out in Nigeria, you will see that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said is about to happen. That word, prophecy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming to happen today. Even in our weakness, today, even in our emptiness, the strongest nation in the whole world is weighing in gradually. The strongest nation in the whole world is standing in the front line gradually. And I bet you, it will never be business as usual. One thing must give way. In a very near future, one thing must give way. Take it to the bank. No matter how they try, no matter the attack, no matter the propaganda and blackmail, one thing must give way. And the time is very, very near. A lot has happened and continue to happen. The only thing I'm going to tell you as a Biafran, do not allow anybody to deceive you. Do not allow anybody to deceive. Let your faith be on Biafra. Only Biafra can set us free. There is nobody that can set you free. Focus your mind and heart on Biafra, not on a human being. Biafra will come in such a way that no human being will take the glory. And Chukwu Gabiam is already doing it. So many people are working hard today without being told. When Mazi Samonepa gave the prophecy of the autopilot, some people call it a joke. Even up to today, the Biafran quest is on autopilot. People are doing things on their own without being forced. People are taking up challenges. People are doing things without being told today. People are taking their positions, taking some responsibilities. That is why I say I don't stand against any group. Whichever thing you can take responsibility and begin to do, go and do it sincerely. And when you see your brother or your sister doing something, don't attack that thing as long as it is not against the cause of Biafra. Don't attack it or speak against it simply because you are not the one doing it. Maybe you are the one that's supposed to do it and you fail to do it. When someone else is doing it, don't attack it. If you don't want to encourage the person, just pretend as if you're not seeing the person and allow him to do what he's doing. Let all of us get busy, stop gossiping, stop attacking each other. Stop manipulation, stop manipulating. Stop the propaganda and blackmail. Just say what you can do and do what you can what you have said. The Biafrans have eyes. We have ears to hear. We have eyes to see. We can read and we can digest information. Once we see a good work done by a Biafran, we will applaud it. We will promote it. We will support it. But if you come with blackmail propaganda, telling us things that are meaningless, there are things that are not useful as we speak. With the level the struggle have reached today, there are things that are meaningless. With the issue at hand today, Nigeria as a country of particular concern, with United States having their troop on the ground in Nigeria, there are issues that should bother us. It is not everything that we need to pay attention to. There are things we are not supposed to be talking about. But unfortunately, there are people who, do I say they do not know their left and right, or they pretend not to know their left and right, and they continue. They continue to deceive people, to confuse people, to create a distraction right, left, and center. But if you are in this program, you have been watching my program and still you get distracted, I'm sorry for you. If you are watching my program and you are still getting distracted, you are still paying attention to gossip, to propaganda and blackmail, I'm sorry for you, I can't help you. Because in this platform, I said it this year, if go and check all the topics I've been preaching, there are critical things that has to do with the Biafra, exposing the Janjaweed. Even if it is a repetition, we repeat it over and over and over again. There is no new message you are going to preach that Nnamdi Kanu has not preached. There is no message I will preach today that Samga has not preached. But repetition is for emphasis because our people forget so quick. That is why sometimes we come on, we preach these messages, take you back to where we are coming from. Sometimes I play the voices of Nnamdi Kanu, voices of someone to remind you of where we are coming, to take your memory back because we are so forgetful. We cannot afford to forget anything at this point in time. We cannot afford to lose our guard. So my fellow Biafrans that are watching this evening, we must stay strong. And the world must know that the only problem that we have in Nigeria today is the creation of Nigeria itself. The only thing that needs to be taken out for humanity to survive in Nigeria is Nigeria itself. That very entity created without the consent of the people. No referendum, no consultation. Created single-handedly by a man called Lugard for control and for extortion. That is the only problem we have. That control has continued. The extortion has continued. As they left you with a police force today that is still forcing you, taking innocent lives, stealing from you. The only thing that needs to be ended is that very entity called the Zoological Republic. Once it ends, humanity will breathe. All we are asking as Biafran is let us breathe. Allow us to breathe. Allow us to breathe. Allow us to go. Have our own nation. Grow in our own space at our own speed. That is the only thing we are asking for. We are not asking for anything. Nothing more. We don't need any of their resources. We don't need whatever they have. We don't need anything. Allow us to breathe. And by the special grace of Chukwu, something is going to give way. So this evening, as we do always, we are going to go into their conventional media to see the information they have in their media. While we listen to their updates in their media, we are going to debunk those we can debunk as we always, and also pay attention to the informations that are necessary. Those that are necessary to pay attention to, we pay attention to them. That is our duty. We will continue to follow them bomber to bomber. We will make sure that they don't deceive us. We will make sure they don't take over our position. We will make sure that their criminality and evil, their propaganda does not fly. That is why we are here in the media, and we will continue to follow them bomber to bomber. Let us hear what they have in their conventional media as we continue on this evening section.
Good morning to you viewers. I hope you're also preparing for Valentine's Day. But first, let me tell you what's happening around the world. Now, Ukrainian intelligence has confirmed that 2 Nigerian nationals identified as 42-year-old Hamzat Kasim Kolawole and 38-year-old Umba Stephen Udoka were killed by a drone strike while serving in the Russian armed forces during the ongoing war in Ukraine. Now, their bodies were found in the Luhansk region after a drone strike in late November 2025. Both men were formerly serving in the 423rd Guards Motor Rifle Regiment of the 4th Guards of Kante-Murovskaya Tank Division under the Russian army at the time of their deaths. Now, Ukrainian intelligence says Udoka received minimal training and he was reportedly deployed just 5 days after signing his contract with little to no formal preparation for combat. Kolawale's training records are still unclear, although reports do suggest that he also likely had minimal training as well. Now, Ukraine's main intelligence directorate has released statements warning foreign nationals against traveling to Russia for work. They say that such appointments may lead to recruitment into the front lines, high-risk units, and potential death. Some very, very sad news that we're starting with. Staying under the umbrella of Ukraine, though, moving on now to the Winter Olympics, and Ukrainian skeleton racer, his name is Vladislav Heraskevich. He has been banned from competing, and that's after officials ruled that wording and images on his competition helmet in solidarity with the Ukrainian athletes who have been killed during Russia's ongoing invasion amounted to a political statement. Winter Olympics authorities insist that international events must remain politically neutral, arguing that any slogan, regardless of context, breaches competition rules. Heraskevich says the move supports Russian propaganda, but that this is not the first time actually that geopolitics have shaped athletes' fates. So again, if we look back in history, again, this is not the first time we're seeing the worlds of politics and athleticism, sports collide. If you remember back during the Cold War, specifically in 1980, the United States led a boycott of the 1980 Summer Olympics. That year, they were held in Moscow, in Russia, right? And that was over protests over the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. More than 60 other countries joined in. So then in retaliation, 4 years later, when America was hosting the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in 1984, Olympics also, you saw Russian athletes, Russian countries pull out of that Summer Olympics. So for many competitors, it meant losing their only Olympic opportunities. Careers, you can see the disappointment along the bottom there, careers built over years, essentially just over without them having the opportunity or the chance to compete. And that was not due to their own personal performance, but because of politics. So it does reinforce arguments about whether or not politics should have any place in performance and in sports. And then fast forward then to the new millennium, and we are seeing more examples of how politics coincide with sports. So if we look at the turn of the new millennium, there were investigations confirming that there was state-sponsored doping of certain Russian athletes. Off the back of that, Russian track and field athletes were barred from competing in the 2016 Rio Olympics. And then at the 2018 Winter Olympics, Russia was officially banned. Fast forward to 2020, those Tokyo Olympics, which were actually held in 2021, Olympics, the Russian athletes competed under neutral status. Those were the ones who were allowed to compete. So Russia's national anthems and the flags were banned. So again, we're seeing geopolitics kind of fester into the world of sports. And the question is, should it be so? Let's move over to the United States now and take a look at quite a big story when we're looking at the environment. So the United States Environmental Protection Agency has reversed a very key climate ruling that for more than 15 years, it required the government to regulate greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. So the decision essentially scrapped what's known as the endangerment finding, which was first established back in 2009. That was the legal basis for limiting emissions from cars, power plants, and major industries. Supporters say that this move will cut regulatory costs and lower energy prices, but critics also warn that it weakens America's ability to tackle climate change, as we're seeing on the screen here, at a time of rising global temperatures and more extreme weather. So in simple terms, Washington has removed one of its main legal tools for fighting planet warming pollution. This move has been described as a gift, essentially, a gift to billionaires, people who are going to be profiting off of this at the expense of the health of Americans. And then finally, we were looking ahead to this election, and we are seeing that in Bangladesh, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has secured a majority after the country's landmark election. This is a huge change of fortunes for the BNP's leader, Tariq Rahman, who has been in self-imposed exile over in London. Now, people were voting for a new government, and also they were voting to take part in a referendum on whether or not to change the constitution. It is the first election held in the country since student-led protests in 2024 ended the 15-year rule of its autocratic leader, Sheikh Hasina. As many as 1,400 protesters, if you remember, were killed during the uprising, with Hasina herself accused of having directly ordered the crackdown which led to those deaths. This is an allegation that she continues to deny, but Hasina's party, the Awami League, was banned from participating in this election, and Hasina herself remains on exile in neighboring India. And then lastly, coming home to the African continent, and Kenya and Somalia have reopened their key sections of their border for the first time in 15 years. This is marking a significant diplomatic and security shift in the Horn of Africa. Now, the border, if you remember, was largely closed back in 2011 after a surge in cross-border attacks linked to the militant group Al-Shabaab. Officials say that improved security coordination and renewed political dialogue has made the reopening possible. Now, the move is expected to boost trade, reconnect divided communities, and improve humanitarian access in border regions like Mandera, which continues to have issues to this day. Let's move on to our newspaper headlines from across the world. As ever, we begin with the front page of This Day. And This Day reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says that it needs 873.7 billion naira to deliver credible 2027 elections, warning that rigid funding caps could undermine technology-driven reforms. Now, INEC Chairman Josh Amuputan said that he told the National Assembly that early funding is required by law. And if you have the chance, our very own Adesua Giwasage did a really great breakdown on her social media of what this means for Nigerians. So if you can, do take a listen to what she had to say. Moving on to the Daily Trust this morning. The Daily Trust reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will take the final decision on the electronic transmission of election results, with the presidency saying that any move will be guided by Nigeria's infrastructure realities, and that's following the Senate's approval of e-transmission to INEC's commission results portal, with manual collation there as a fallback. The Punch this morning, in the same vein, the Punch does weigh in on this, and it does report that the National Assembly Conference Committee will meet on Monday to harmonize differences between the Senate and the House version of the Electoral Amendment Bill. To the Daily Sun reports that former Kaduna State Governor, his name is Nasir El-Rufai, has explained his failure to honor an earlier invitation from the EFCC, that's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, saying that he declined to accompany security operatives at Abuja Airport without formal notice. But he has promised to appear at the Anti-Graft Agency's offices on Monday. And as I said, this is following an attempt to arrest him at Abuja Airport. Now, the Vanguard this morning does take a look at the comments from Aisha Mohammed Oyebode. She is the daughter of the late former head of state Murtala Mohammed, and she said that her father treated corruption as a national emergency rather than a mere talking point. She continues to stress that he confronted graft with decisive action and personal integrity. She's obviously speaking 50 years after his assassination, and Ms. Mohammed Oyebode goes on to describe the late leader as an incorruptible soldier statesman who led by example and held public office with discipline and moral clarity. Now, also, along the bottom of the Vanguard, we have actually been following quite closely this rollout of Lagos State's, their focus on making road traffic and road tackling really the menace of road traffic accidents here in Lagos State. So we had been previously reporting that it rolled out this mass eye test and drug test and support for 10,000 drivers. All of this as the state government continues its efforts to keep the roads and people of Lagos safe. Now, moving on to the Daily Independent this morning. The Daily Independent does report that the United States has accused Chinese miners who are operating here in Nigeria of funding terrorism. This is a claim that the Chinese embassy has dismissed as unfounded, but is insisting that there is no evidence linking Chinese nationals or companies to terror financing here in Nigeria. Now, the New Telegraph this morning does weigh in on a lot of the stories that we've already taken today, but its lead headline, for instance, is looking at the fact that you've got prominent figures, governors, Fubara, Oberewori, and Sanwo-Olu among those to be honoured at the paper's Night of Excellent event this evening. And then let's move on very quickly to our British papers. We do have the Times first and foremost. This is the story that jumped out at me. So the Times is reporting that pupils in the United Kingdom will be able to change their gender at school with pronoun guidance available for children as young as 4. Then on the Daily Star this morning, Ban United is their headline, and that's as Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe could be banned by the FA from the club's Old Trafford Stadium following comments that he made about immigration during a Sky News interview earlier this week. The billionaire has apologized. He did say he's sorry for his words, and that was after the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer called on him to apologize. Those are your brief stories and your newspaper headlines.
He said if the word he said offended people, so he's not sorry. I mean, Nigel Farage went to defend him also. I said he's correct. So this is how these people think, and it's a reflection of their thought process. I'm sad for Bangladesh because the Battle of the Bedouins begin. So this time around, the winner is Tariq. That's one part of the Rahmans, right? Maybe many years down the line, you have another uprising, and the Sheikh Hasina part, somebody from there will probably get into power. So it's been a ding-dong affair. Bangladesh is not free. So in fact, it should be a day of national mourning for them. As regards what CNN reported, and good job for Larry Maduwo. In fact, somebody is saying here that there were many Nigerian, in fact, there's another name of another Nigerian person that said was tricked to go into Russia, and they promised them jobs, and and they got themselves in the dream. In fact, somebody is saying that they will soon call out the Nigerian influencers that are pushing. In fact, the person claimed, I think it's Reno Odwala, Reno said some influencers got up to $50,000 to be able to push job opportunities in Russia, when it ends up being a case of, when they go there, they are forced to join the military. 2009 was a very monumental year in climate change. It was the year they passed AES, it was the year they passed the endemic finding, and all of this come together to form the bulk of the life work of Al Gore. It is the life work of Al Gore that Trump has reversed today. Al Gore got a Nobel Prize for all of this, his work as regards climate change and all of that. But you see, as with every regime, things will be reversed. The day you see the light of day and you bring another person in that is not thinking like Trump, that is more circumspect in the world, I think things will pan out. So I'm not surprised that he was going to do. He's even going to do more. Don't worry.
Is he going to win with his agenda and the rhetoric largely from the Republican Party that climate change is a hoax, that it's a con job, which he has consistently maintained? And this, some might call it defining moment in the history of climate change in America, where he's reversed all the policies, especially based on endangerment findings. So the policies were made based on a scientific finding or research under the Obama administration. But what he said is that, it has caused more harm than good to the American people. This will be tested in the next few days, because he was also asked, because they have the midterm elections coming up in November, that would this hurt his chances based on public opinion? Because based on public polls, more Americans are leaning more towards believing in climate change. The evidence is there. Even here in Nigeria, we're talking about how we see rains in January, February, and it's not yet the rainy season. We're seeing flash floods in Lagos State, for instance, and in the early part of the year. So it's very difficult to argue against it when you see the evidence presented before you. But let's see how it would work. But one other area that this might also affect is the EV industry. Some of these climate change policies, green policies, were also supportive of more EV production, Americans adopting EV as a cleaner form of energy. So that would also have an impact on businesses in that regard, even though he's saying that for car manufacturers, this would be good. Let's see how this would affect his relationship with his close pal, Elon Musk. But I want to touch on just Nigeria quickly because this is important. I had a message from someone whose brother was a victim and they don't know where he is. He went to Russia based on a job opportunity and his family members are yet to hear from him. So I believe it's time for the Nigerian government, maybe NIDCOP, to step up, to find a list and maybe do a sensitization around these fake jobs in Russia.
Very quickly about the two Nigerians who have just been killed in the other war, their war between Russia and Ukraine, Colonial and Uzoka, the two names of the persons. Now, the first thing to note is that this is not restricted to Nigeria. We have seen similar stories coming out of South Africa and also coming out of Kenya, whereby persons are recruited from Africa to go and fight as mercenaries. Not as mercenaries, there's deception involved. They're told, they'll be given jobs as security men, and then they are deployed to the war front, and then they die. It's a statement on the condition in Africa, about the poverty in Africa, about the desperation in Africa among young men, the crisis of unemployment in our countries, so that when you are offered just about any job, you just take it. Now, Kolawole has died, he has left behind a wife and 3 children. So that even brings it home at a personal level. Now, we have said that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in all our countries should be vigilant, should look into all of these matters. When these jobs are offered and people are applying for visas, what are they going out to go and do? They deserve protection from their own governments. The Nigerian ambassador, the Russian ambassador to Nigeria, has said that this is not the Russian state recruiting people. That if there are illegal organizations or some other individuals in Nigeria who are recruiting Nigerians, that's what the Nigerian government should look at. And that, I think, is a very instructive message. Now, about politics and the Winter Olympics, this has always happened, whether it's the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics. The intersection between politics and sports means that countries use events like the Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics to play politics, soft power. And what must be realized is that these athletes, they also have a voice. They are in society and they want to express themselves. President Trump has called Hess, one of the American ski, athletes, that is a fool. He doesn't believe in MAGA. But these people say they have an opinion. The same way that in 1936, athletes said they would express their opinion at the Summer Olympics in Berlin Olympics.
So you have heard, we have seen it, the update that is coming, and we are going to continue and go over to the next one. We still have more updates from them. We're going to go to one that has to do with the jihadists, the jihadists they call Bombosu, that they are trying to protect. They are calling him out, and those who lost him are protecting or defending him. After the United States called him out, his name was mentioned. Since then, there has been a lot of people coming out to defend him from all angles, all corner, everywhere is bubbling, people coming out to defend him. So let us also look at this part to hear what they have to say on this very one.
Now, as you might have heard, a proposed bill before the United States Congress, the Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act 2026, reportedly references Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso in connection with allegations of severe religious freedom violations. It is a claim that, if sustained, carries not just reputational consequences, but diplomatic and political weight. But the Kwankwasia movement is pushing back forcefully, calling the allegations unfounded, misleading, and politically motivated. They argued that the adoption of Sharia-based legal systems in parts of northern Nigeria was constitutional, multi-state in scope, and subject to judicial oversight, not the project of one man. They insist Senator Kwankwaso has never been indicted for religious persecution and point to his record in public office, including cross-faith political alliances. So what exactly is in this proposed US bill? On what evidentiary basis is his name being cited? Is this a question of human rights accountability or political targeting dressed up in international language? Well, to respond to the allegations and address the growing diplomatic and political implications, I'm joined now in the studio by the National Campaign Secretary of the NNPP in 2023, Folashade Adiyu, who is currently a close aide to Senator Kwankwaso. So thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me, John. Thank you.
What exactly does the proposed US bill allege about Senator Kwankwaso? I mean, I wonder if you've seen it or been told about the specific language and how it refers to him.
I've seen it. Well, I've seen it. I've gone through it, reviewed it with our team, and I've captured it all over the place, on social media. But my perception of the whole thing is just, you can tell if you go through the entire document that this is simply malicious.
On what basis?
It's simply malicious, and you, like in your introduction, politically motivated.
Well, that's what you said.
That's what we said.
I'm quoting what you said.
That's correct.
Right. Because the statement by the Kwankwasian, of which you are either directly or indirectly a part, describes the claims as unfounded. I mean, people would say what he would say. He's not going to come out and say, yep, that's what I am guilty of as charged. But has your team formally requested the evidentiary basis upon which his name was included in this bill?
Yeah, definitely. We are not holding our hands. We have done so much in the back end, and possibly you'll be hearing from us. This is not the end of it, because we believe that it is politically motivated. That's correct. We also believe that it's very malicious. And if you look at that,
but you don't have any evidence to support the fact that it's politically motivated.
That's what I want to tell you. That if you look at the document thoroughly, and you will think, out of everything we have heard about terrorism, kidnapping, and so on and so forth in Nigeria, and you will have just one individual named in a bill that is that serious. I mean, it's just simple. 1 + 1.
Yeah, but how exactly does
that's what we do not understand, and that's what we
don't. What I'm saying is that what is the language that is used for the benefit of our audience who may not have seen the document?
Well, the fact of the matter is that, this document is about how many pages? Maybe 20 pages.
Right. But I'm talking about the specific bits where
what I'm trying to say is that if you want to, when you're looking at a bill, it has its different subsections.
Right.
That leads to where you want your prayers, what you want as the consequences of the bills that you're presenting. And that is where his name was lumped up with some other organizations.
Yes.
The organizations that they cannot even... and so on and so forth. I don't want to do justice to all of that.
Right. Nomadic, Fulani sort of, according to the document, nomadic Fulani sort of, if you like, terrorists.
Well, whatever you want to call
militants.
Whatever it is declared.
You see the evil. You see the evil in these people.
You have an individual.
You see this evil. I don't know why they are always scared of mentioning Fulani terrorists. Does it need a rocket science that for people to know that the terrorists are Fulani? The bill that was passed in the US mentioned them, for example, but look at their news, look at how they are bashing their mouth. The woman doesn't want to mention Fulani. Even the presenter was biting his mouth, mentioned the Fulani terrorists the way it was written. Mieti Allah, owned by the Fulanis. The Fulani herdsmen that are the 4th most dangerous terrorist group. But they continue to cover them. They continue to cover them. That is why insecurity will never go away in Nigeria. There will never, ever, ever be peace in Nigeria. because of this kind of attitude. The media is complicit, the government is complicit, the judiciary is complicit. Every single one of them is part of this idiocy and madness, and it will never stop. Look at the way they report issues. They are scared of mentioning the people who are involved, biting their tongues and hiding what you don't want to call them Fulani terrorists. That is what they are. And that is the difference between Donald Trump and all these idiots that are parading themselves everywhere as leaders. You call things what they are. There's no need painting them, designing them. Look at what is happening in the UK. UK have embraced evil by themselves. Look at even Dubai and UAE have refused their citizens from going to UK to study because of radicalization in United Kingdom. United Kingdom has now become a headquarters for radicalization because they want to play gentle, they want to play simple. Now their own place have become even UK has become a terrorist country itself. That even the UAE doesn't want their citizens to go there. United Arab Emirates, they don't want their citizens to go there for scholarship. Look at how they are talking like idiots in the studio. Nonsense.
Yes. The organizations that they cannot even, and so on and so forth. I don't want to do justice to all of that.
You don't want to call them
imagine, Fulani sort of.
Just imagine.
According to the documents,
imagine.
Nomadic Fulani sort of, if you like, terrorists.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
Just imagine.
Whatever they are declared to be called. But the fact of the matter that you have an individual that you have not in any shape or form aligned with these organizations, even in Nigeria. And all of a sudden he just appeared. What else can we call that if it's not malicious?
Well, let me put it another way. Critics often point to the expansion of Sharia-based legal systems in northern Nigeria. Can you state clearly that during Senator Kwankwaso's tenure, whether there were any documented cases where religious minorities were disadvantaged under his administration?
Well, I cannot point to any document that would say, look, this is a man, let me, even before I go there, before he becomes a governor or before he became a senator, he is an individual, he's a person of character, of a good character. He's a person that is a nationalist. He is a person that, I'm a Catholic, I work directly with him. He's a running mate in 23. He's a Christian.
Nonsense.
And he's a Christian.
Nonsense.
You
the way Tinubu is marrying a pastor from the day.
In his home and his business.
Bunch of idiots.
So what I'm saying is, I have not seen anything and no implication whatsoever that will tell me that this person has anything to do with religious bigotry or terrorism. I would not associate with something of such. Then let me also say, if you look at that bill, he's talking about the fact that he originated, he's the first governor that has something to do with Sharia law, which is not.
His bill didn't say he's the first governor.
I want to present it to you that it is seriously malicious and it is politically motivated. A lot of things that are out there may not be exposed to, ordinary Nigerians. Okay, I understand that fact. But when you are talking about Sharia, you are talking about terrorism. There is no way his name should even come up in the first place. And the issue of Sharia, it's based on the Constitution. It's not a one-man thing. It's not a one-state thing. Everybody knows that. Even the people that really believe and were very straightforward at the beginning of the Sharia, you didn't mention that. So what else can you call it if it's not malicious?
Right. So you're suggesting, in fact, the statements that was released by the Kwankwasiya movement on behalf of Senator Kwankwaso suggests that, and you're saying it now, suggests that this may be driven by rivals who want to settle personal political scores. I mean, that's quite a serious allegation. Who specifically would have the kind of influence or access to shape a U.S. congressional bill in that way?
Well, the point is, if you pay any lobbyist enough, will do whatever they need to do. And I'm seeing the handwriting on the wall. And if for what? Let me say this. I'm not saying anybody per se, but I'm saying that if this person distinguished Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is not so important to them. You know, they will not be approaching in one way or the other to be part of this and part of that. You see, in this political consultation, some people will come to us, we will go to some people. You understand? That's just the way it works. But when people become desperate, when people become anxious of what's going to happen, and you know, the funniest thing is that some people don't look at the pattern of things. In the sense that, look at when we were, when we had the gubernatorial issue, what you call it, in the appeal court, you know, the tribunals and the appeal, and you don't see how God manifested himself in the appeal judgment when you have two judgments on the same paper. So, look, this is going to turn out to be for our own good. You know, you mentioned it. Yes, it's a serious matter, we know. But we know the man that we work with. We know the man, Senator Rabiu.
Well, this has gone, as they say, beyond the pale. We're not talking about, you know, some person in Nigeria versus another person. I mean, this stuff has gone, you know, global. It's gone, and more worrying for you, it's gone to America, and an America under Donald Trump, which is an America that is hugely influenced by fundamentalist Christians. I mean, I would imagine, because when you talk about the fact that, you know, these are rivals trying to send Temple Personal School, why him? I mean, what is it about him? He didn't come first or second or third in the last election. I mean, he only literally got one state, you know, which is Kano State.
But that one state is a very important
but what I'm
state.
saying is that why would they, of all the people, why would it be him in isolation to everyone else whose name is mentioned in that?
That's the mystery that we will sort out, and that's the question that we are also asking, and that's definitely the question that Nigerians should be asking.
Well,
and I'm sure, just like I told you earlier, I'm sure that we'll get to the bottom of this. Yes, it's a big deal that America is involved, but you have to understand that this thing would have been initiated from a point, from somewhere. It has Nigeria all over it. So that means that the first step, or the initiator, or the contributor, or the mischief makers,
or the investigation carried out by the Americans, revealed something that you weren't aware.
Even if they carried out an investigation, Charles, it starts from here. And the fact of the matter is they just even given themselves up by just isolating one individual that has nothing whatsoever to do with this groups.
Well, let me put it another way. How concerned are you that this could affect Senator Kwankwaso's domestic and international standing, especially if he remains a potential presidential contender? I mean, you've been talked about as a potential running mate to some political heavyweights. Do you expect that they'd be reluctant to choose him if this bill continues to proceed?
Well, the fact of the matter is, just like you said, whether it has to do with the international community or even Nigeria or even Kano itself, we should be concerned that they mentioned his name. And that is why I'm here. And that's why we're doing what we are doing, to say that we will unravel the mystery. But I am telling you, if I want to tell you on a personal level, I am not concerned because I know the man, distinguished Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, and a lot of people in Nigeria, not just in Kano, not just in northern Nigeria, all over Nigeria, across West Africa, across Africa, knows this person. He's not a baby politician, he has been around. They have tried everything possible to blackmail this person, and they have not succeeded. So now, thinking that, okay, it's Donald Trump's era and Donald Trump, and I'm not saying that America is not significant in what we do. Yes, they may be significant, but what this bill indicates, it's simply and terribly, absolutely malicious.
Do you believe this is foreign interference in Nigeria's political process, or is it legitimate for international bodies to scrutinize human rights records, even if it is of opposition leaders.
Say, well, the way I see Nigerian politicians, especially coming walking towards 2027, on one hand, they will tell you we're sovereign nation. On another hand, they will tell you we're people of that deserves a lot of respect. And then on the other hand, when it suits them, they take our issues to the international community. And at the end of the day, when these things are found to be wrong, so what's going to happen? Because somebody started this. I'm sure, whether it's an investigation or something else, whatever it is, it started in Nigeria. And there's a purpose, there are some intentions. So what we are looking at is, what is the intention? What are their intentions? Who are those people that are propagating this nonsense?
Beyond just arrogating allegations or against other people, I mean, people who at the moment you really can't identify. I mean, let's talk about his own.
I'm not sure that we can identify some of them. I'm not going to name it.
Right. Okay. So let's concentrate on what you can name, which is to point to his. I mean, you point to his 2023 Muslim Christian ticket as evidence of inclusivity.
Yes.
Critics may say a campaign strategy, which is what it is, and you were the national secretary of his campaign, does not embrace governance themselves. Beyond symbolism and running what policies. He was governor of Kano State. What policies demonstrate religious protection under
the religion? Of course, you have to understand that this person is an individual and he has some interest, some virtue that makes him. He's somebody that is very inclusive, very accessible, very compassionate about people. And he's people-centered. All of our programs, even in church, community and people-centered programs. He's somebody that appreciates and respects people. He appreciates that I go to my evening mass, every 6 p.m. He does his Muslim prayer. So those are the things, those are the little things, those are the little details that you see and understand that this individual understands, respects other people's religion. So I am not going to come here and say, because of the campaign. No, I've been working with him for 7 years, at least 5 to 6 years. And I've seen him just like at different levels, as a father, as a husband, as a leader, as a brother, as a friend. I've seen him at different stages of his life. And there's nothing pretentious about it. And the people that knows me knows that I stand for certain principles. I don't patronize people. I believe, and if you ask me what exactly what brought me to this campaign is number one, he believes that he believes that if a country has educated folk, and even the Bible says, for lack of knowledge, people perish. And if somebody believes that, he believes that healthcare is important. He believes that infrastructures will help us. He's a business person. He's not only a politician, he has businesses that are running successfully. No, what I'm saying is he's not idle.
Let me ask you this. Senator, my question directly address methods of diplomatic channels to challenge that.
And we're starting from Nigeria all the way to the US, to the conference. We are, yes. And we're levels of engagement. Of course, we are meeting to decide what we're going to do from home. Because charity begins at home. We're not going to be running to America for every little thing or every big thing. We are going to start from Nigeria. We are going to go all the way to the US conference. We are going to do everything possible, humanly possible for us to attract investment. Because you look at the fact that my own personal opinion is I don't buy it. So if we are so desperate as politicians or haters or whatever it is,
I think the voice is good. So on the nutshell, you see that these people will always continue to defend the indefensible. They will always continue to defend the indefensible. Look at how they are playing their games. Everyone is coming out to defend Kwankwaso. They want to defend. But there's no problem. We are here watching them. The United States is watching and every other place is watching. Whether his fellow brothers, terrorist brothers, are trying to sacrifice him, we will find out. But no matter what they do, they can never deceive us. Nigeria will never deceive us. These are a bunch of criminals. A terrorist country. A terrorist country that does not care about humanity. They don't care about human beings. And that is why we will continue to expose them, expose all their evil. We will continue to expose all their evil. Nigeria is a failed state. A country where everything that is in it is just, everything that is in Nigeria is full of evil. It didn't start today. The only solution to this volatile republic remains ending it. If you don't end it, the problem will get worse every day. Because the problem of Nigeria is foundational. The problem of the zoo is foundational. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start just a few minutes ago. And it will continue. So my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, continue to expose the evil of this janjaweed. Expose them. We thank Chukwu Okike. I will never stop thanking God for Donald Trump. I will never stop thanking God for Donald Trump, who has come to open the eyes of the people to know what is happening. To know what is happening. They have hidden for a long time. They have pushed this their life for a long time. And enough is enough. Finally, let us listen to this one. Let us hear the report they have on this one before we end the program. Let us listen and hear what they have to say. But the most important thing you must know is that Nigeria cannot be redeemed. It cannot be redeemed. So prepare yourself, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, wherever you are, prepare yourself. Join your own people and fight for your own nation. Go back to who you were before the colonial master came. That is the only solution. Everything you are seeing in Nigeria is fake. The statistics is fake. The governance is everything is fake. Everything you are seeing is fake. And it must be destroyed.
Nigeria's Fourth Republic began in May of 1999 with hope, but it soon picked up a trail of scandals that shape how people see power. In 2005, the first big shock hit. The Sitting Inspector General of Police, Tafa Balogun, was arrested for stealing 10 billion naira police funds. By August of that year, he had pleaded guilty.
That is Nigeria.
The man meant to fight crime has become
fraud.
The headline.
It started from British.
Then came the oil money. Between 2003 and 2010, global oil firm Halliburton paid over $180 million in bribes to Nigerian officials to help them win gas contracts. Foreign courts took action, but at home, the cases faded. Then in 2011, another oil deal exploded. It was called OPL 245. Over $1 billion meant for Nigeria ended up in private hands after a deal signed
$1 billion
in April of 2011.
$1 billion.
The money trail led to prominent politicians, oil firms, and middlemen. The case dragged on for years across Nigeria and Europe. By 2013, corruption had moved to the National Assembly.
That's Tinubu wife fighting.
Lawmaker Frederick Lugard was caught collecting part of a $3 million bribe during a probe into the fuel subsidy scam. The very panel meant to expose fraud became part of it. That same year, Nigerians heard about 2 bulletproof BMWs. Aviation Minister Stella Odua approved 255 million naira for them. The country was in a recession talk at the moment. The bill still went through. Also in 2013, the central bank governor said the National Oil Company, the NNPC, failed to remit huge oil earnings to the treasury. The figure ran into billions of dollars. Instead of a full audit, the whistleblower was pushed out. Then, in 2015, the biggest security scandal broke. Over $2 billion meant to buy weapons to fight Boko Haram insurgency was diverted. The man at the center was the National Security Advisor to the President, Sambo Dasuki. The story became known as the Dasuki Gate. Then came pensions. Between 2011 and 2015,
all these
funds
things is
meant for retired workers vanished. The face of the scandal was Abdurrashid Maina. Money for all people's survival went missing, and not much has actually been done about that. Well, governors were not left out of Nigeria's Fourth Republic corruption history. James Ibori, Joshua Dare, and Jolly Nyame were all convicted between 2007 and 2018 for stealing public funds. Some served time, many kept their titles. From 1999 to date, the pattern stays the same. Big money, weak checks, long court cases, and very little closure. That is the shadow hanging over Nigeria's Fourth Republic, a system that made billionaires of a few and left millions more asking where their money went.
You have heard it. That is the zoological republic for you. That is the zoo for you. That is the zoological republic. You hear the sound of money looted. 2 billion, $1 billion, oh, not naira, dollars, stealing right, left, and center, and it will not stop. And if you pay attention, you will hear the names you'll be hearing in those stealing. All of them are Fulanis. All the name you'll be hearing in that stealing, billions of dollars, Fulani people. You will not hear anybody from the southeast. But yet, they see us as a problem. But yet, the money is taken from our own land. May Chukwu Okike have mercy. May Chukwu Okike have mercy. We cannot continue to be with these people. There is nothing that will make us to continue to be with these people. It is an abomination for us to continue to do anything with Nigeria. And that is why any place you are, whatever you are doing, you must continue to speak up about our freedom. You must continue to put every of your effort for us to get out of the Nigerian Republic. I appreciate every one of you that join us on this program. And I wish you all a very happy Valentine. Tomorrow we're going to have our Valentine program. Try to join on time. If you have not shared, share. Like this program, click the button so that tomorrow you can join us early on our Valentine program. We're going to have our Valentine program tomorrow. So wherever you are, try and key in so that we can move on and share love among ourselves as Biafrans. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect every one of you. I wish you all a very wonderful Valentine celebration. See you all tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu Okike. Good night, and may Chukwu Okike guide and protect you, secure you, guide and protect our leaders more especially Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Mazen Simon Ekpa. We pray that no weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafrans shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. Thank you so much. Have a very wonderful Valentine's celebration. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a papa nuku. But then the way you me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me that all the rest of man I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes for other Biafrans and for freedom and to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, will never be apart.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation.
We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes of our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will
we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand.